All right, guys, welcome back to another interview on Unhinged. And today, ladies and gentlemen, I am finally joined by Shem Rock. Shem, an absolute pleasure. I appreciate it so much. How are you?
Yeah, lad, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing fantastic. We were just talking about there. UFC Paris is on. Are you looking forward to
Yes,
it? Who have you
yes.
got in the main event? I mean, this will come out past it, but maybe we've got Mystic Shem going on.
Fucking hell, you put me on the spot here, lad.
So we're talking about the main event. Cyril Gahn, Sergey Spivak. Just quick one. Who you got?
Spivak.
Spivak.
Yeah.
Taking him to the ground, submitting him.
Yeah, take him down.
Yeah. Gone working on that a lot recently since his last loss. So it'll be interesting to see how that gets on. But yeah, as you talked about, we're here to talk about Shem Rock and seeing what's in the future. But first and foremost, I want to talk about that last fight. Getting the first win in the Oktagon MMA banner. What was that feeling like? How did that feel?
That was the second win, that lad.
Officially though.
Yeah, fuck the officials. They don't know what they're looking at.
Yeah, but how did that feel? How did that moment feel?
Yeah, lad, it was what we'd been working on. We kind of studied them a little bit. Well, the coaches did especially. And we just kind of knew, like, he's open for that kick to the body, or if he brings his hands up high, it's open. If he brings his hand low to protect his body, then we'll go back to the head again. I said it beforehand, like, people think I'm joking, lad, but I said I'm gonna knock this guy out. Sadly, I didn't get to knock him out, but it's only because after I hit him, lad, he turned his back to me. Like, you give your back to someone, lad.
Exactly. What's he doing? After the debut, obviously getting that draw as you talked about there, could have been a win, should have been a win, etc. Was there a sense of heading into that one that you wanted to impress, get the fight finished, to try to tell everyone, all right, I'm Shem Rock, this is what I am, this is what I'm about?
I said it, lad, after that fight, like, fucking this next one, lad, I'm coming in with a full camp. I'm coming in without the rib injury. I knew, like, especially the opponent compared to the last one as well. Like, I knew, like, I'd steamroll him. He cool guy, whatever. But there's no lying in this sport, lad. And he just went on my level, bro. And it's the same with this next fella as well. Like,
absolutely. And I'd love to talk about that next one. This is such a fantastic story. I'm starting to laugh before I'm even talking about it. And obviously, it's well documented throughout the years that you was on the run for a crime that you didn't do. You were rightfully justified, but now that's led you to fight a policeman for money. Are you laughing already? I'm laughing because I know this is probably your dream fight ever, to fight a policeman. How does that firstly feel to, a chance to punch a policeman for money and potentially win?
This fight should be 5 rounds in the main event. That's what I'm saying. Like, who the fuck doesn't want to come and watch a police officer fighting the local lad, knowing that he's going to get his head punched in, lad? Like, look, let's see if he shows up first of all, because for all we know, lad, he'll end up doing a running halfway through the camp saying he's injured or some shit. Let's see if he shows up first, but if he does show up, lad, it's going to be a long night for him.
Yeah, you mentioned him showing up. Is that a sense of him having doubts of him not actually getting to the fight? Is that what you're feeling?
1,000,000%. He knows. Yeah. He's not dumb. He's not dumb, lad. He watches me fights and he thinks, fuck, this guy's scary. This guy's dangerous. Of course he thinks that.
Yeah. I can't wait for this fight. You're building it up even more. As I talked about, the storyline is going to be crazy. It's going to be important for you, this one, I feel like. And I feel like emotionally, it's going to be a lot for you to try and kind of stay intact. How do you intend to kind of deal with that as you're looking across a policeman and you want to punch him as hard as you can throughout when you're in the back of your mind, you're going to have them past 6 years when you was on the run. You're going to have that there. So how are you going to kind of deal with that in the moment?
Lad, I'm a high pressure type of guy. Put me in the high pressure situations, and that's where you're gonna see me thrive. Like, yeah, okay, there's gonna be all the pressure on me, whatever. Lad, he's gonna be standing in front of 22,000 people booing him in front of the most dangerous man he's ever stood across the cage from. Lad, this ain't like pressure on me. This is pressure on him. I'm going to be coming start from the very first exchange to take his head off. He's going to know as soon as the bell goes and I sprint to the middle of the cage, he's going to be on the back foot from then on. And I'm either going to finish him quick in the first round, or you'll see me just drag him out through the rounds and just hit him. And every time I'm close to finishing him, just letting him survive a little bit longer and just going straight back to hitting him. But let's see. Also, like, it's like you said, like, not getting too emotional in there, but I don't feel like I ever have that problem, lad. When I'm in there, for me, kill, flip the switch, whoever's there, they'll get it, lad, and this is no different.
Absolutely. And we'll talk about the matchup against Jaroslav a little bit more. What you're expecting from him? Obviously, he's very experienced, had a lot more fights than yourself. I know you're a big fan of me. I know you're watching UFC Paris right now, so I know you've probably watched him in detail. So what are you expecting from Jaroslav in this fight?
Do you want me to tell you what I'm expecting? He's either going to come pressure from early on and meet me in the middle, or he's going to do that fucking daft shit that he does where he stays on the outside and tries to circle and then rush with his backhand straight into the clinch, and then he's going to think he can grapple. Bro, he's going to be surprised. If this guy tries to grapple with me, it'd be the biggest mistake of his career. If he stays and strikes with me, I'll just knock him out. So it's like, which way do you want to go? Do you know what I mean? But I think in his heart he knows.
And you mentioned the ground game there. I want to talk about that. Obviously, you've been notorious for submitting loads of people in your career thus far. Do you see that being another factor in this fight? Being too predominant on the ground and obviously openly getting that submission.
So I feel like people don't really see this side to me, but I know how I am in the gym. I feel like everyone thinks I'm just a grappler, but I'm whatever your weakness is. If you can grapple but you can't strike, I'm going to come out and strike with you. If you can strike but you can't grapple, I'm going to come out and grapple with you. And I just think in MMA, loads of people who have fought have got shit grappling, and that's why I've took them down and submitted them. Like, I'm not getting paid for overtime. I'm just looking to finish people and make statements and get paid, and that's it. And I feel this fight, this guy thinks he's somewhat of a grappler, but I think his grappling's shit, but his striking's even worse. So I feel like this fight, you might see the anti-grappling, the takedown defense a bit more, keeping it on the feet. But let's see, lad, you never know what happens when you get in there, lad. He could just fucking do some dumb shit, and I'll just capitalise on it.
And obviously, you talked about that. You don't know what's going to happen. You can sort of roll them with the punches. It comes as it comes at you. So yeah, looking forward to it. And in terms of what it would mean for yourself getting a victory in Manchester Arena, AO Arena against Jaroslav, what would that mean?
It's massive for me, lad. Like, I never really get to be the home lad on his own turf, with me, all my family there, with me fans there, my crowd. I'm always going away, travelling away, fucking fighting the home crowd favourite. Like, I'm happy now for once to be like, this is my time. I get to do me weight cuts fucking at home. I get to get me rehydration and me refueling at home. Like, all me people are going to be there. Like, this is what I've been fighting for, these type of opportunities. This is one that I'm going to look back on for the rest of my life and say, hey, remember when I fucked up that police officer in Manchester? It was sick, that, weren't it, boys?
It's gonna be a fantastic night for sure. While we're on the topic, at fighting at home, in Manchester, just 30-40 minutes, if that, just around the corner from Liverpool. You talked about that, your family, friends, everyone's gonna be there. Obviously that's gonna have a positive effect on you. Does that feel extra special, as you just talked about? You just talked about just touched up on it a little bit there, but does that feel extra special that you get to perform at home, get to perform in front of your family that probably haven't watched you in a few years because, as you just mentioned there, you've been traveling away?
I'll be honest with you, lad, it's only afterwards you think about all that. Like, I might be talking about it now, but once it's fight day and I'm there, I don't see no one. The only thing I can hear is my corner man, and the only thing I can see is my opponent. And as soon as the walkout, lad, I just flip that switch, and I'm not thinking about it, enjoying the show. I'm not thinking about is everyone having a good time. I'm not thinking about, I wonder is my mum in his seat. I'm just thinking about killing this cunt, lad, and he can be fighting anywhere in the world, in any stadium in the world. Like, nothing changes as soon as you get in that cage and the lights are on and the crowd goes black. I can't see no one, bro. I just see my man in front of me and I'm just ready to kill him, lad.
That's that killer instinct that every fighter needs, and you've got it definitely for Shem. We've seen it throughout. You definitely up and down your career. You submitted most of your opponents. You know, you've had that killer instinct of just finishing the fight. Obviously, we've seen what happened when it goes to judges' scorecards. Maybe they're not watching the right fight. So, is that where that comes from as well?
I don't know, lad. I just feel like if you win on decision, for me, you still didn't win, lad. Like, finishes are wins. Every decision, even if you maul someone, if you didn't really finish them at the end, unless you control them from start to finish, from start to finish, and you absolutely 10-8 of them every round. But lads, if you're not finishing people, lad, it's not a real win, lad. It's kill or be killed. Like, decisions, you don't know, lad. They would give you an extra round. They could have went the other way. They could have. It should be unlimited time. That's what it should be. No time limit. First one to drop off is dead. Let's go. But how's that gonna be spectator friendly when you're watching two fucking cunts hug each other for 45 minutes? But for me, that's how I'd have it if I
could. I think you need to make a promotion after it's all said and done. Shem promotion. Got to be something like that.
Some of the fights would be too long, lad. The fights would just be too long, wouldn't they? Wouldn't make no money.
I mean, I think we've had a few. I mean, I don't know whether it was no rules fights. We've had quite a few in the early days of the UFC. So, that would be cool to see come back. I did love the Pride FC and the really early days of the UFC. Pride FC, in the early days of the UFC. Yes, I love them back in the day. But yeah. If we see it come back, that would be good. We'll keep it swiftly moving on. I quickly got my last two questions. I'm going to talk about Oktagon Challenge. Obviously, you had a chance to coach there. That'll be coming out soon. I'm looking forward to it. What was it like to coach there? How was the season? What was it like to be in the different side? Obviously, you're telling the fighters how to fight, how to win, etc. That fight. So, how did that feel? Not being under that, under that environment and fighting.
I think maybe you get to see a different side to me on the show, where if I'm on the show as a fighter, I'm more selfish. I'm thinking about me. Everyone's an enemy because you don't know who you're in the final with. We're coming on as a coach. I'm not fighting, so it's not about me. It's about yous now. I'm focused more on the lads. I'm trying to give more than I am take. I'm cool with everyone because I'm not fighting none of these cunts, so I don't give a fuck. Like, but it was a bit weird. I had like my teammates on the opposite team. But then I also had Dennis, who's one of my fucking good mates, on my team. So it was a bit of a mad dynamic, lad, to be honest. But it was a mad journey, lad, and I fucking met some good people on the show. Got to see some good finishes, some good knockouts, and I'm normally one of them people who, when I do something, I don't like to watch it back. It's a bit cringy listening to yourself speak, but the Oktagon Challenge, lad, I'm excited to watch it back. I don't know, it's going to be good.
Yeah, I love that, the style of, I know I'm gonna obviously relate it to, tough, the Ultimate Fire and stuff like that. I'm looking forward to it. Some fantastic coaches on the show, as you talked about there. You had Brad Pickett on the other side, who is obviously a legend of the game, been around for a very long time. So you probably. It might have been tough to beat him. So I don't know. He's at a fantastic gym, hasn't he? So GWTT. So he's coached some really good fighters. So a tough one to coach against, but I'm looking forward to watch it. Can't wait to obviously see how we can watch it and stuff like that over here in the UK. I'm gonna have to find out that. I'm not too sure off the top of my head. I'll have to ask Scott as well. But yeah, my last question. Going back to the fight, regarding back to the fight, everyone knows you're a big fan of reggae music. It's all over your Instagram story and etc. What type of music are you walking out to? What tune is it on November 4th?
I don't even want to tell you, lad.
You don't have to.
I'm looking to get something live, someone there for real.
Oh.
Let's see.
What's that, walking side by side?
It's not up to me, is it, lad? If it was up to me, lad. But let's see. I'm in the works.
There we have it. There we have it. We'll leave it as that. An absolute pleasure. Shem, I wish you the best of luck. November 4th, Oktagon MMA 48 in Manchester, AO Arena. Make sure you go watch it. Make sure you go support Shem. Shem, an absolute pleasure. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of the fights. Thank you very much.
Go on. See you later, lad.